When it got confirmed after England's victory against Congo the other day, everyone at the World Cup was looking forward to this match, and this match in particular, the famed Estadio Azteca, with two football-mad nations, loud, proud, and boisterous in their support. One used to the high altitude and with an unbelievable home field advantage, the other not really knowing themselves what they're walking into. Tonight, the World Cup Sweet 16 rolls along with the much anticipated collision between Mexico and England. Good evening, everybody, or good morning, depending on which part of the world you're choosing to access this from. I'm Seth Eaves. Thank you so much for being with us. We even saved you the best seat in the house. What a matchup we have in prospect for you tonight. El Tri versus the Three Lions. Mexico and the altitude of the Azteca, and some of the most boisterous and passionate support in world football against an England team that has been a little underwhelming, but here and trying to make yet another run at a World Cup and trying to win it for the first time in 6 decades. Let's really quickly go through the starting lineups real quick for Mexico and England's second ever match at a major tournament. The other, of course, was the World Cup in '66. England won 2-0 in the group stage. They've had plenty of friendlies, and of course for England, not only is it about exercising 60-year World Cup demons, tonight they're trying to exercise 40-year Azteca demons. You see, they're playing in the Azteca tonight for the first time since the infamous Hand of God goal back in 1986 when Diego Maradona and Argentina did the number on them. Mexico in green, England white. They've been waiting for days for this one to get underway. All the talk about the altitude, about the weather. We are starting a bit later than a game later than about an hour later than supposed to. All that talk can stop now. It's England who get us underway. And the quick starting lineup for England, Jordan Pickford in goal, and again, and already they go forward. They're in their white shirts going right to left. Mexico left to right in their green. Jordan Pickford's the goalkeeper. The right back is Jarrell Quansah, Ezri Konsa, Mark Gahey at the back. You figured Quansah would start after Jed Spence's struggles against DR Congo the other day. Nico O'Reilly, who's had a really good World Cup, plays at left back. Two central midfielders, Elliot Anderson, one of the more expensive players in the English game now, along with Declan Rice from Arsenal, Jude Bellingham of Real Madrid, and an attacking midfielder. The forwards, you have Bukayo Saka on the right wing, Anthony Gordon on the left wing, and the man himself, Harry Kane, the captain, at center forward. Mexico's team has Raul Rangel in goal, Jorge Sanchez at right back, and already a player down for Mexico, Luis Romo, and it took just 57 seconds for the first yellow card. This is going to be something. It was Declan Rice who got the yellow, my mistake. Jorge Sanchez is at right back. The center backs are the captain, Cesar Montes and Johan Vasco. Jesus Gallardo's the left back. Luis Romo, the player down, will be one of two center midfielders along with Gilberto Mora. Eric Lira is the defensive midfielder. They play with three forwards. The right forward, Roberto Alvarado. Julian Quinones, who scored the first goal of the tournament, is the left forward. And the center forward is Raul Jimenez. It is an absolute sensation in here. The referee tonight is Alireza Faghani, born in Iran, but is a Australian citizen referee, and he has been a FIFA referee, listed referee since 2008. He refereed 4 matches at the 2018 World Cup, including that thrilling win for France against Argentina and Belgium's 2-0 win against England in the third place match. He only refereed 2 games in Qatar 4 years ago that were both group stage matches. This is the 3rd match he's worked of this World Cup. He also was the referee for group stage matches between France and Senegal, as well as Colombia and Portugal. He also was the referee for the 2016 gold medal match at the Olympics. And here come Mexico, right on the attack, and Jimenez, a little slip, finds Alvarado. Alvarado now over to Sanchez. Alvarado. Alvarado now gets it to Mora. We do have a couple of comments, by the way. Plug F1 2026 says hello. Hello to you, Bruce Andrews. Our friend says, let's go, England, let's go. Here's Alvarado trying to get clear of O'Reilly. England were able to defend it pretty well. And then a foul here by Sanchez. It will be a goal kick, a free kick to be taken by England. Well, just how big is this one? How big is this one going to actually be? Well, we know how big it is. I mean, just how big do we think this game is going to be? It's going to be absolutely intense. Mexico, of course, the World Cup, the 18th time. They're trying to break the round of 16 curse. Quarterfinalists did 70 and 86 the two times. Their two best efforts. England, a 17th World Cup appearance. And, of course, famously, the winners back in 1966. Though disputed it may have been, they did win it. 6 wins for England all time, 1 draw, 2 defeats. Mexico defeated Ecuador in the round of 32. England over the Democratic Republic of Congo. Mexico very impressive. England had to come from behind, not as impressive. So now a pass back. Mexico now ought to play it from the back here. Touch now for Gilberto Mora, who plays his club football in Mexico for Tijuana. Alvarado with a good pass. Now over to Gallardo. Gallardo now getting it back. It's Montez with the pass. It was a good ball here. Looked like a good ball, but England had the spaces covered. Bellingham trying to wiggle out of trouble. Found, oh boy, a bump, and oh boy, Harry Kane getting the ball. And boy, the last thing you want to do if you're English, show signs of being rattled in this environment. You don't want to fall for what they call CONCACAFing, as they refer to it as. The Mexican and American fans have been pointing out. Bellingham does get his shirt tugged by Lira. There's no question about it. And then Lira then goes down after whistling. He tries to keep the ball away from Kane. A little bit of gamesmanship early on here. Mexico, of course, have been known as, like I said, that the curse has been since they made the quarterfinals at home in '86. Mexico's never lost a World Cup game at the Mexico City Stadium, the Azteca, as it's known. But anyway, back well, Mexico, since they made that quarterfinal in '86. It has been disappointment. They, of course, were disqualified for even playing in 1990. Then 7 straight World Cups where they made it to the round of 16 but could not win. And then a very disappointing group stage exit 4 years ago in Qatar. England, of course, for a while were kind of quarterfinal merchants to a degree. Have picked it up recently, of course, going to the semis back in 2018 and finishing in 4th place. Riley with the touch for England. Pass here, now it's Bellingham. And now Jude Bellingham with his pace. Finds Anthony Gordon on the left wing. Gordon. Play it goes. England playing a CONCACAF team for the second time in this tournament. They beat Panama 2-0 in the group stages. Jude Bellingham and Harry Kane scored. Of course, England did draw with the USA at the 2022 World Cups. England's last World Cup loss to a CONCACAF nation. And in fact, their only loss was that infamous 1950 loss to the USA 1-0. More on Mexico's history against European nations in just a moment. Declan Rice with the corner. Gives it now to Bukayo Saka. Saka whips in a cross, and no one really there to deal with it for England. Gallardo couldn't keep it in. He didn't have to. Mexico with one win already at this tournament against a European nation. That was when they beat Czechia 3-0 in Group A's final match. Chavez, Quinones, and Fidalgo scoring for El Tri. Mexico also drew with Poland in 2022. Their last loss to a UEFA team at a World Cup was a 3-0 loss in group play to Sweden in 2018. Here is Bukayo Saka. They do have some famous wins over European opposition. They beat Germany, of course, in 2018. They beat Croatia in 2014. They beat France in 2010. Also beat Croatia in 2002. 1994, they beat Ireland. And of course, they beat Belgium and Bulgaria when they hosted it in 86. When they hosted it in 70, they beat Belgium. Here's Nico O'Reilly with it for England. Gets it to Anthony Gordon. Gordon now trying to cut to his right. Back to O'Reilly. Oh, a nice back pass. But England losing on penalties to West Germany in that 86 match. And since then, it's been a round of 16 curse. 1994, it was Bulgaria on penalties. 98, a 2-1 loss to Germany. 02 might have been the one that stung the most. That was a 2-0 loss to their arch rival, the USA. Gordon trying to play it for Bellingham. Defender, though, gets in front of him, Lira. Lira wanted a foul. He's not going to get it. Then, of course, a gut punch loss. They were at least going to get the penalties, it looked like, in 2006 before they lost on a stunning goal from Maxi Rodriguez of Argentina. Argentina then beat them pretty good, 3-1 and 10. And then 2014, the last-second heartbreak, losing on a late Ian Robben penalty against the Netherlands in 2014, 2-1. And in 2018, the last 16, Brazil sent them packing 2-0. Ball goes out of play. And then Mexico did actually beat Saudi Arabia 2-1. But because of goal difference and other results, they could not qualify as they only picked up 1 point out of a possible 9. Gianni Infantino. He's been in the news today. More on that at halftime in case you've been living under a rock. But Mexico have just played so well recently. They have not conceded a goal in any 4 of their matchups. Now, some will say it was against South Africa, South Korea, Czechia, and Ecuador. No doubt England does provide a stiffer test in opposition tonight. Here's Mexico. That wasn't a very good pass. You go back, England, Mexico, you go back to last year when they beat U.S. 2-1 in a Gold Cup final. It has been quite impressive. Actually, 2026, they're unbeaten in matches this calendar year. When you count friendlies and, of course, the World Cups, they've only conceded 2 goals. One to Belgium in a March friendly, and then one in a June friendly against Serbia. Little chip over the top there. In the matches they've played this calendar year, they have outscored their opponents by an aggregate score of 23-2. In the 12 matches they've played so far, 26-2. It's been the aggregate score. It has just been super impressive. He will definitely get a test of the credentials, that is for sure. Here in this one. Long ball to the top. Saka got a touch to it, but not enough of a touch for Rangel to make the save. Another long ball. See if Saka can get there. Not quite. Gallardo. It's the ball. El Tri are head coached by a native Mexican, 67-year-old Javier Aguirre, Mexico City born. His third stint with the national team. He also managed him from 2001 to 2002 and again from 2009 to 2010. He's had this spell since 2024. He's also managed other national teams he's managed include Japan and Egypt. And amongst the clubs he's coached, Osasuna, Atletico Madrid, Real Zaragoza, Espanyol, Leganés, Monterrey, and Mallorca. He's won 2 Gold Cups with Mexico. Also took them to the Copa America final back in 2001. Oversaw Mexico's round of 16 exit in 2002. And their 2010 round of 16 exit. Here's Mexico now with that long ball. Left hand over to the right. And a play now for Jorge Sanchez. Sanchez now to Alvarado. Alvarado whips it in. Diving header! What a save by Pickford! Tried to put it right on a plate for Raul Jimenez. Pickford at full stretch. And Mexico have a 16th minute corner to be taken by Roberto Alvarado. Jimenez nearly had his 3rd goal of this World Cup. Alvarado whips it in. Headed away at the near post. And out of play, I believe. Could be another corner. Bellingham back there providing the defensive cover. So Alvarado will take it again. Here is Alvarado, and England again with a good header there. Getting it well far away. Lira will chase, but it's too far to do anything with, and it's going to be a back pass all the way to the keeper. Good chance for Mexico. Jimenez with the header, and Jordan Pickford with a good save. Now here is Vasquez, now back to Romo. Romo chip. Will there be an offside here as Gallardo chases? He couldn't keep it in anyway. Could not keep it in anyway. So Mexico lose possession. England, of course, led by a German these days. 52-year-old Thomas Tuchel from Krumbach in Bavaria in West Germany. First time he's ever managed an international team. Most of his other managerial efforts have come at club level. He's managed some pretty big clubs, the likes of Dortmund, PSG, Chelsea, and Bayern Munich. Of course, another found here, his biggest accomplishment, of course, in management was when he won the Champions League with Chelsea in 2021. Kai Havertz, the only goal in a 1-0 win in Porto against Manchester City. Also has a Bundesliga title with Bayern in 23, a German Cup with Dortmund in 2017. He won 2 French titles at PSG, 2019 and 2020. Also in that 20 year, he won the French Cup and now the French League Cup and took PSG to the Champions League final. Best FIFA football coach was named in 2021 for his exploits with Chelsea, but didn't have the greatest ending with the West London club. Jordan Pickford with a good save moments ago to keep this at 0-0. Hansa. Now it is Anderson. Good slide. Oh, he was dispossessed here by Quinones. Jimenez. Now Vasquez. Romo. Now over to Quinones. Well, this is nice play from Mexico. Nice one, too. Shot blocked. Vital block for England, and they'll gain possession defensively with Bukayo Saka. Mexico have the youngest player at the World Cup in the form of 17-year-old Gilberto Mora, playing again for Tijuana in the Mexican top flight. Scored in a loss to LA Galaxy in the Leagues Cup last summer. He also set the record as the youngest Mexican player to feature in a World Cup when he came on as a substitute to the opener against South Africa. He was 17 years, 240 days. Gordon, with great pace, gets by Sanchez. And then a block by Lira, and it's an England corner. And when he started against Ecuador to finish it, Moore became the second youngest player to start a knockout match at a World Cup, only trailing Pele in 1958. Youngest goal scorer in Liga MX history. Youngest player to win a senior international tournament when he was in Mexico's Gold Cup squad last season. #21 minute. Declan Rice with the England corner. Heads go up. And booted away to safety on the left side. So not much coming of that chance for England. Declan Rice. #21 minute. Thomas Tuchel looking on, and when his team's done. Mora. Now Sanchez. Alvarado. Now it's Vasquez for Mexico. Johan Vasquez with a good touch. Kane. And so we now head to the lost my train of thought. All right, here we go. We have hit the hydration break, which means you get to see an orbit of this fantastic stadium. And we remind you that the FIFA World Cup continues on USM. 2 more matches coming your way tomorrow as the World Cup really kicks in to high gear. It starts at 3 o'clock Eastern Time with the Battle of Iberia as Portugal face Spain. And then prime time from Seattle, the United States against Belgium. I know I said I was going to do this at halftime, but I'll go ahead and use it in the break in case you've been living under a rock all day. But just to piggyback off of everything else that happened, in case you missed it under a cave today, the big news is that the U.S. striker Flo Balogun has had his red card suspended, receiving whatever kind of legal term you'd like to use is how you can best describe best describe the deal. But the big thing you need to know is that Flo Balogun, forget the red card, if you will, he will play for the U.S. against Belgium tomorrow. That came down earlier this afternoon, and to say that it has caused a firestorm and rumors and everything else in the last 6 hours would be a mass understatement, and we will leave it at that. As we're just about set to resume play inside the famed Azteca. Play 25 minutes, and Javier Aguirre having a talk with Jude Bellingham. Not sure what that was all about. Seemed simple enough at the end there. Maybe some mind games. Who knows? Mexico with 107 passes to England's 93. 94 to 8 in terms of 80 in terms of completions. Long ball. Can Gordon chase it? Yes, he can keep it in. Great work, Anthony Gordon. Good shot by Gordon, and a good low save made by Rangel. And Mexico will have it. Raul Rangel, a 26-year-old who plays for Chivas Guadalajara, just simply known as Guadalajara. Twice the winner of the Liga MX Save of the Month. Makes the save there to deny Gordon. That was better from England, though, you would have to say. Much better from England. Ball cleared out. Mexico, England did have possession. Now the referee has stopped play. 3 attempts on goal for Mexico. 3 shots for Mexico, 1 for England. Each team with a shot on target. Gordon couldn't keep it in that time. 28th minute. Throw in to be had by Mexico Sanchez. In the defensive half, and he lost out to Elliot Anderson. Anderson now in a struggle. Good challenge there. Again, this is good work here by Bellingham. Bellingham goes down. No whistle. England won a foul. Not going to get it. Mexico have gone 15 straight World Cup games without conceding a first-half goal. If my memory is correct, that would mean the last time they conceded a first-half goal to World Cup was the 2010 game against Argentina. Here's Mora trying to find Sanchez, but Anderson got in the way on the overlap. Mexico fans enjoying themselves, as you would imagine. We talk about passionate football, soccer, whatever you want to call it, nations. Everybody thinks about the South Americans in English, but maybe because of the fact they really just, they haven't even made a final, you feel like the world forgets about Mexico. They love El Tri in that nation. And they take over, when they play games in the U.S., even if it's against the U.S., they take over U.S. stadiums. They are a proud and passionate fan base looking for the breakthrough. Of course, they have had recent successes at youth level. And by recent, I mean in the last 20 years. In 2011, they won the Under-17 World Cup, which they hosted. Won the final on a late winner at the Azteca. And then a year later, Mexico beat Brazil at Wembley to win Olympic gold. Of course, if you're not that familiar with men's soccer at the Olympics, it is different than the women. The women treat it in terms of, I won't say treat it more seriously, but more serious, I should say. But the women send their best teams to the Olympics. The men send under-23 teams to the Olympics. It was Mexico's U23 that won that. Here's Saka. He lost possession. But still have not been able to break that round of 16 hoodoo at the World Cup. Montez. Lira. Ball into the area. Konsa, not the most convincing clearance. Anderson then able to slice it towards Declan Rice. Let's go now with possession again. Here's Quinones trying to run back, trying to find a safe place to operate and get the Mexican attack restarted yet again. Here is Alvarado. Winner, of course, and I do apologize for this, haven't mentioned this yet, winner of this match, next stop Miami for the winners. They'll play Norway in the quarterfinal on Saturday. They sent the Seleção packing earlier today. And also, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that this is the last match of the tournament to be held outside of the U.S. It is all U.S. stadiums and cities from here on out. The crack research team is working to confirm that statistic. Here's Romo. He's going to pull, and it's going to go well wide of the goal. Actually, I take that back. This is the last match in Mexico. There will be one other non-U.S. match. Tuesday, Switzerland-Colombia game will be in Vancouver. And the quarterfinals will be in Boston, Los Angeles, Miami, and Kansas City. Semifinals in Dallas and Atlanta. And the final, of course, will be in a couple of weeks in New York, New Jersey. But this is the final match for Mexico at this tournament in terms of hosting. This is the last Mexican stadium match. Mexico hope it's not their last match. They hope they get a shot at Erling Haaland in Miami. And let me tell you, just talked about it. There will be a lot, man. If Mexico win this game and get Norway and Miami, well, Norway has done a great job traveling, but that will be a Mexico home game, I assure you. All the traveling They do, relatively close. They will be passionate about it. 33rd minute. Here is Konsa on the ball for England. Got the pass from Gahey. Mexico, good intercept. Romo, chip, Quinones. Free of Kwanzaa. Gotta have to enunciate Konsa and Kwanzaa. Here is Sanchez for Mexico. Now back to Alvarado. Right-hand side, it's Sanchez. Now it's Alvarado. Sanchez now with it. Over to Alvarado for Mexico. Alvarado. Now back to Montez. Taz left-hand side. He's got room. Here's the cross. It was aimed for Jimenez, but it was over him by some distance. Out of play and a throw in to England. 35th minute. Still 0-0 in this round of 16 encounter between Mexico and England. Trying to fill the fourth piece of the quarterfinal puzzle. Half the quarterfinal field will be set when this one's over. France, Morocco, and Norway have already booked their tickets for the next round. They've booked passage. One of these nations will join them. Here is Lira. Quinones has room. Romo tried to find Quinones, couldn't do it. It's going to come back now to Montez. Now it's Alvarado. Now Sanchez. Alvarado, Mexico, just patient and probing. Alvarado with it. Now over to Montez. Long ball to the top. Here's Jimenez. Was being tugged a little bit by Gahey. He does not appeal for a penalty. He doesn't appeal for a foul. There was none called. And England trying now to break with Declan Rice. The engine. Big run here. Saka, always dangerous on that right wing. Saka trying to chip it. Kane was there. So too was Bellingham. And Bellingham scores. Jude Bellingham silences the Azteca. And his diving header gives England the advantage. Less than 10 minutes before the interval. Well, great ball. It was a good counter-attacking goal. It was great work by Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side. He did all the work. And a good header by Bellingham. And it's 1-0 to the Three Lions. And so the deadlock broken by a Jude Bellingham header. And now here come England again. Kane, Bellingham, 2! Mexico completely falling apart. Jude Bellingham. Unbelievable. What on earth were Mexico doing defensively? Jude Bellingham, 2 in quick succession. And England now have a 2-goal edge to work with. They have completely zapped the air out of the Azteca. Unreal. Thomas Tuchel loves it. Tenth international goal for Jude Bellingham. Mexico now on the left-hand side. And now, how does Mexico respond? So 2-0 England lead. Foul here, and Mexico chipped in, headed away. Good work by England defensively, and now here comes Bellingham. Now it's Gordon. Mexico have got to find something and regain their composure bare minimum and create a chance or two to tell England that they're still in this, or else it is going to be a monumental way back for El Tree. Now, left-hand side. Here's Gallardo. Blocked by Saka. .42 minute. Free kick for Mexico. Alvarado is over it. Free kick is whipped in. Fed around, and Quinones scores! Boy, did Mexico need that! And the man who's one of the top strikers in the star-filled Saudi League has just given Mexico an ever so slight glimpse of life. Julian Quinones. England are trying to go very quickly the other end, but to no avail. Boy, has this thing opened up in the last 6 minutes. Quinones now his and now there's momentum. And now Thomas Tuchel's men have quickly 2-goal edge, and Mexico now have the lifeline. And now here they come again, Mexico. Sanchez trying to slide in. Riley beating him to it, though. Coming up at halftime, more in-depth analysis about Flo Balogun. And not in-depth analysis, more on Flo Balogun and his reinstatement as well as a recap with Norway and their win earlier today over Brazil, plus other news from around the sporting world. That's all coming up at halftime. 2-1 England lead. I mean, this is just turning into quite something. Here come Mexico again. This is Lira. Alvarado chipped in. Not the best clearance in the world there from England, but they get it away. And that's really all that matters. Left-hand side, here is Gallardo. That's a long ball played in. Oh my goodness, Jimenez was in between two England defenders there. Here is Alvarado. And away it goes. Elliot Anderson. Now throw in by Sanchez. Cleared away by Anderson. 5 minutes of stoppage time here at the end of this first half. Another ball for Quinones. Teed up. Jimenez! Just wide. Like to welcome those of you on. We would like to welcome those of you that have been watching on JBM and on USN coverage of the NASCAR Cup Series from Chicagoland. What a last 10 minutes it's been here at the Azteca between Mexico and England. Jude Bellingham scored 2 goals in quick succession, but Mexico pulled one right back from Julian Quinones. Bukayo Saka trying to squeeze it through and couldn't. We are near the end of the first half. This game has turned on its head. After a kind of a patient start, Bellingham with 2 quick goals. But moments ago, Julian Quinones with a very impressive strike that pulled Mexico back to within 2-1. They're trying to get on the attack again. The match momentum looks something like a roller coaster ride. And moments ago, Raul Jimenez missed a golden chance to equalize the match. Throw in Mexico? No. Foul. Mexico take the quick free kick. Alvarado, here's a header. Oh, what a save by Pickford. Mexico have come alive. Jimenez again in there, and Pickford full stretch to make that save. Third Mexican corner of the game. Whipped in, header by Jimenez. Oh, unmarked and over the bar, Montez. Oh, he was free at that far post and couldn't put it in. Cesar Montez. He was just on side, too. Bellingham might have been there. Bellingham is putting in a shift everywhere. He scored both the goals, but he's done well defensively, too. And he did indeed get the last touch. And so it is a Mexican corner. Again, welcome to our new audience that watched NASCAR on USN and JBM. 2-1 England lead. Corner, and England able to head that corner away as we are in the last minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half. An absolutely incredible contest developing here, as we suspected. The atmosphere we knew would be electric. We wondered if the game would match it. It took a while, but it certainly has. It's really come to life now. Alvarado to Sanchez. Mora. Now Vasquez. Romo. Lira. Now Montez. Lira. Mexico trying to get one more delivery in. Here is Quinones trying to loft it in. Sanchez, not the best touch. Gordon back there defensively. Then he gets bumped by Sanchez, and a foul called on Sanchez. And that'll probably end the first half, and I think that's good for everybody's sanity. Try and catch the breath. And that is indeed halftime in the Azteca. And what a first half it's been. 2 quick-fire goals from Jude Bellingham looked to have zapped the air out of the Azteca as England went 2-0 up. Julian Quinones, though, gave El Tree life. And Mexico have been on the front foot ever since. Could be a nervy one if you're staying up late across the pond in England. But at the half, at the Azteca, England lead Mexico by 2-1. We're going to pause for those of you just joining. We're going to go mute for a split second, and then we will be back with halftime activities as you continue to watch the orbit of the Azteca Stadium. 2-1, England lead at halftime. We'll be right back as this is the World Cup on Ultimate Sports Media. Halftime at the Azteca, and what a match it's turning out to be. England lead Mexico by 2-1, a double from Jude Bellingham. Mexico got one back, though, from Julian Quinones. Seth Eaves back with you here. Let's get you caught up on what else has been happening. As Red Eye Maine is jumping, says Mexico. Raul is next to tie it. Again, JB and the viewers just coming in. Hello to them. Hello to everyone that is just joining us from the coverage of the NASCAR Cup Series race at the Chicagoland Speedway, won by Chase Briscoe. Well, no doubt what the big story today, at least from an American perspective, has been at the World Cup, and it had nothing to do with anything on the pitch. Earlier this afternoon, it was about 2, 3 o'clock or thereabouts, we got the news that really perked up the ears of every American fan and left other fans in a little bit of disbelief. Flo Balogun will be available for the Americans tomorrow night against Belgium after having his one-game ban suspended by FIFA. You might remember he's received that controversial red card in the second half of the win against Bosnia for a foul on Tariq Mahrimovic. Most think it was a harsh red card, and he was sent off following a VAR review of the incident that typically carries one-match suspension, but the 25-year-old now will be available after FIFA's intervention. In a statement, FIFA said, quote, by operation of Article 27 FDC, the implementation of the automatic match suspension for USA player Florian Balogun is suspended for a probationary period of 1 year. No reasoning was provided for the decision. Article 27 states that FIFA's judicial body may decide to fully or partially suspend the implementation of a disciplinary measure. Now, under FIFA rules, the U.S. was not able to directly appeal the red card. The following parts of this are not endorsements or positive or negative comments toward the person involved, as we do not really endorse political candidates around here. We're just reporting the story. Rumors have been spreading and reports have circulated that American President Donald Trump asked FIFA chief Gianni Infantino to review the red card following the match. Today, on his Truth Social account, he said, thank you to FIFA for doing what was right and reversing a great injustice. Well, the Americans may think that the injustice was reversed. However, the Belgian Association is now thinking that they've been suffered an injustice of their own. They said they were astonished by FIFA's decision, claiming it's in direct contradiction to the governing body's rules surrounding red card suspension. In a statement, the Belgian Federation said, quote, in order to safeguard the legitimate rights of all participating teams and to protect the fundamental principles of fair play in our sport, both at this FIFA World Cup and at future editions of the tournament, the RBFA, the Royal Belgian Football Association, is investigating all potential options. It was not quite as eloquent, the thoughts from Belgium head coach Rudy Garcia in his pre-match press conference. He said, quote, I didn't know that at the World Cup, the 5th of July is actually the 1st of April. It's April Fool's. He is none too happy. Obviously, a lot of people worldwide. Now, there is some sort of precedent you might remember. FIFA suspended the final 2 games of a 3-match ban for Cristiano Ronaldo after the Portugal captain was sent off in his team's penultimate World Cup qualifier against Ireland for elbowing an opponent. Had Ronaldo been forced to serve the full suspension, he would have missed Portugal's first 2 games at this World Cup. Just something for everyone to keep in mind. And no doubt a story that has been getting a lot of pull. But the big story, the nuts and bolts of it all, Flo Balogun will play for the United States tomorrow. It's 2-1 at halftime. 2-1 was the final in the other round of 16 game earlier today. And the Vikings are still rowing. Norway are into the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Erling Haaland scoring 2 goals at the second half. Brazil out in the round of 16 for the first time since 1990. They did get a late penalty from Neymar, who after the match said he was retiring from international football. Carlo Ancelotti's men disappointing Norway into the last date with a 2-1 win. The goalkeeper Nyland also saved a Guimaraes penalty in the first half. World Cup again continues with 2 matches tomorrow. We'll have them both here on the channel at 3 Eastern in Arlington. It's the Battle of Iberia. Portugal against Spain. Commentator will be Matt White. And then Matthew Owens will be with you from Seattle at 8 o'clock as the U.S. take on Belgium. Busy sports day. Let's get you up on what's happening around the sports world on this Sunday. Major League Baseball, still 2 games in progress. At the end of the 7th, it's the Padres leading the Dodgers 5-2, and the Red Sox and Angels are tied at 2. That's in the top of the 2nd. Jarren Duran just homered for Boston. Earlier today, the Mets barely held off the Braves 10-9. Juan Soto a 2-run single for New York. It was Pittsburgh 11, Washington 5. Connor Griffin a tie-breaking 2-run single in the 8th inning for the Buccos. Cincinnati wins over Baltimore 3-2 to avoid a sweep. Spencer Steer broke up a scoreless game with his 14th home run of the season. More trouble for the Yankees. They lose to Minnesota. The Twins get their first series win in the Bronx since 2014. Joe Ryan scattered just 3 hits in 7 scoreless innings as the Twins win it 6-1 in the Bronx. The White Sox outlasted the Guardians 7-6, a split in that crucial series. Colston Montgomery hit a 2-run homer. The Sox also got homers from Kyle Teal and Tristan Peters. Chicago's other team, the Cubs, avoided a series sweep from the hated Cardinals 6-4. Chicago scored 4 runs in the 6th. 2 runs in for Nico Horner, 2 hits also for Pete Crow Armstrong. Philadelphia had a chance to make up some more ground on Atlanta after their loss, but they couldn't. Phillies lost 5-2 in Kansas City to the Royals. Royals snap a 4-game losing streak. Salvador Perez drove in 2 runs for Kansas City in that one. Detroit topped Texas 6-3. Riley Green homered, and he also tripled for 4 RBIs on the day. Houston beat Tampa Bay 2-0. Christian Walker and Isaac Paredes with solo home runs. 4 pitchers combined for the shutout for the Astros. Rockies beat the hapless Giants 7-6. Kyle Karros a 3-run homer in the 8th, winning it for Colorado. Milwaukee come back to beat Arizona 3-2. Jake Bauers off newly minted All-Star Eduardo Rodriguez in the 7th. Wild game in Vegas today. Marlins' Yuri Perez was pitching a perfect game for 7 innings, then was pulled. They had to hang on and beat the A's 9-8. And the other final today, Mariners take a series from the Blue Jays. They blank them 4-0. Emerson Hancock and the bullpen have now had 24 straight scoreless innings. Quite amazing what happened there. At the All-England Club today, on the men's side, amongst the winners, Novak Djokovic advanced to the quarterfinals, as too, on the men's side today, did Jannik Sinner. On the women's side, round of 16 winners included Jessica Pegula, Coco Gauff, and Naomi Osaka, who in straight sets knocked out the top seed, Aryna Sabalenka. At the PGA Tour today, Chris Gotterup, a bogey-free 9-under 62. The former Oklahoma Sooner overcame a 5-shot deficit entering today to win the John Deere Classic. What a year the 26-year-old's having. His 3rd win on the tour. He won by 1 shot over Max Homa in the end. WNBA a 2-game day. Indiana got 27 from Kelsey Mitchell. They beat Vegas 84-68. So a win without Caitlin Clark for the Fever. And the Wings beat the Tempo in Toronto 89-76. Paige Beckers scored 22 in that one. We just told you that Chase Briscoe won the NASCAR Cup Series race. IndyCar ran today at Mid-Ohio. Pato O'Ward got the win. And Charles Leclerc broke his long winless drought by winning the British Grand Prix. And you now see the screen as we get set for the second half here between England and USA for Mexico and England. Red Eye Man also making other comments from JB Motorsports as the lone Mexican fan. Oh boy. I guess this is referring to the Balogun decision. He has great news. If Messi could do that and not get a red card, then he should as well. And then he, referring to the Belgian statement, he says, of course they would. They're scared of the USA squad. They're cowards for not wanting to face them at full strength. Well, that's an interesting there. Again, we thank you, and to anybody else out there, please like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be up to date with all the latest news happening. You get the latest to all of our events, as we do a little bit of everything around here. Mexico are making one halftime sub. Edson Alvarez is coming on for El Tri. The captain, 28-year-old who plays his club football in Turkey plays in England for West Ham. Spent this past season on loan at Fenerbahce. And Mexico get us underway to start this second half. They'll go from right to left in their green shirts. England the opposite direction, wearing white. They lead it 2-1. And Mexico on the ball here. On the ball left-hand side. Easily retrieved in the end by Jordan Pickford. England will lead. Mexico with 4-1-2-3. Rangel at the back. Montez, the man that was sacrificed for Alvarez. Here's Romo for Mexico. And couldn't quite get the contact on that. It's going to go out of play. Edson Alvarez also has played for America and Ajax. He's played for some pretty good clubs, Fenerbahce and West Ham. Became just the second Mexican to ever play for Fenerbahce. Scored the winning goal in last summer's Gold Cup final, did Alvarez. Ball play now. Here is Rangel. Mexico now. Boy, that was a little bit dangerous. Mexico playing from the back. But England commit a foul and a free kick for Mexico. Just a slight touch there from Lira. Kane did do a fair job of selling it. Again, 10 spots separate these nations in the FIFA World Rankings if you put any stock into those. England ranked 4th, Mexico ranked 14th. On the right-hand side, Mexico with Sanchez. Trying to cross, it got sliced away by O'Reilly. England 20 wins, 4 draws, 2 defeats when leading at the half in the World Cup. Vasquez Gallardo. Mexico with 39 final third entries to 14. They've outshot England 7-3, but the 2 lapses cost them dearly. Declan Rice trying to win possession. Loses out to Mora. Mexico win it again. This is Quinones. He's going to have a go. That was not much of one. And it was a brave block. Anthony Gordon, has he kept it alive, the left-hand side for England? He most certainly has. Now it's Kane. Kane. Now Kane giving it up to Kwanzaa, who's made an attacking run for the right side. Kwanzaa. Now over to Gahey. Anderson. Now Gordon, left-hand side. He's been really good down that side tonight. Good ball in here. O'Reilly, very nearly an own goal. Vasquez and Gallardo both were in dangerous positions, and if either one of them had touched it, it probably would have deceived Rangel, and it would have been 3-1. Good job. Gallardo spread the legs a little bit, let it go between him. Good job by both defenders, making sure neither touched it. Throw in Kwanzaa. The penalty area. Mexico only half deal with it. Here's a volley. It hit the post. O'Reilly hit the post. Saka keeps it alive. Kwanzaa's cross. And Alvarado able to head it away. Now England have Declan Rice now back to Konsa. Konsa now to Bukayo Saka, who set up the first goal for England. Saka with two defenders on him. Now gives it back to Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa now over to Konsa. Gahey. Gahey with a pass to Anthony Gordon. Gordon trying to make moves. Good acceleration. Sliced. Only as far as Lira. Lira will boot it away as far as he possibly can. All the way back out to Jordan Pickford, who gets the call. What a run he's had. Really came on the scene in that 2018 semifinal run. He's 32 now from Washington, Tyne and Weir, England. Currently plays for Everton, where he's made over 330 appearances for them. Recently just signed a 4-year contract that's going to keep him on the blue half of Merseyside until 2029. Bellingham trying to weave through traffic, and he's done so. Jude Bellingham needs more support, though. And then Bellingham runs into Alvarez, takes a tumble. And Mexico had it. Bellingham gets back up, nearly dispossessed Romo. Pass back to Rangel, now it's Vasquez. Here is Alvarado for Mexico. Now it is Romo. Gallardo, can he get there? Not quite. Kwanzaa. Now a long ball left-hand side. This is Gordon. Gordon trying to get through. Oh, Gordon, it takes a tumble, and is the ref going to blow for a foul? I believe he is. Yes, foul. England are going to have a free kick from an angle just outside the box. A prime opportunity, and you can bet number 9 will be a marked man. Referee having a conversation now with Alvarez. He's going over to the VAR side of the VAR thing. It looked he was heading that way. He's having a chat away from the ball with Edson Alvarez. Are they maybe going to look at that challenge Kwanzaa had on Gallardo just a moment ago? I wonder. And now now VAR is checking to see if a possible red card for Kwanzaa here. Now, wouldn't that be something? Referee is done with his check, and let's see what he calls here. You cannot hear the referee. This crowd is so loud. It is the red card! Jarrell Kwanzaa has been sent off. England are down to 10. The 23-year-old who plays for Bayer Leverkusen in the German Bundesliga has been sent off. And now England are going to have to play 36 minutes plus stoppage, a man down. My goodness. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment on the pronunciation. It says great pronunciation. Not butcher the name. I do appreciate that. No ill will on Kwanzaa, but I will say it makes it easier because you have to really enunciate with Kwanzaa and Kansa. Now, a free kick Mexico. A man up. And it's headed away and behind for a corner. And Kane goes down and is holding his leg. And oh my goodness, Gallardo is really shouting in Kane's face. And now, this is the CONCACAFing that the U.S. people and the Mexican people and the Canadians warned the English about. That can happen to the Azteca. Well, Gordon goes down. Kane wasn't touched that bad. Oh man, Kane might maybe that stud got him a little bit at the end there. Jude Bellingham wants something to be done. Kane is back up. It's no penalty. This is where the referee has got to gain control here. We were waiting for the moment that this would happen. The moment where things would really kick off. As the World Feed is showing us a replay of the O'Reilly shot that hit the post mere moments ago. Mexico take advantage of the man advantage. Quinones. Quinones out of possession. Pass here is Mexico now inside their own half. Trying to run. Jackrabbit pace to this one. Lira now over to Vasquez. Vasquez now back to Gallardo. Quinones now getting a touch. Quinones to his right. Tried a shot, and that was not going to bother Pickford in the least. Goal kick England. And it's like England are going to make their first substitution of the match. John Stones is going to come on for England, and it looks as if the man that's coming off is Bukayo Saka. So that kind of tells you Thomas Tuchel's like, we need to take more of a defensive-minded shape if he's putting a defender on for an attacker who set up the first goal. And Bukayo Saka, I'm not a body language expert, but he does not look pleased at all that he is being subbed out here. So Stones on for England. They still lead 2-1 as we near the hour mark. Oh, big mistake here. Rangel's come out on Gordon. Referee points to the penalty spot. And how much trouble is Rangel going to be in here? Lazy defender. Rangel got the worst of it in 2 ways. He's still on the ground. Pickford with one heck of a ball. And then, that's a bad back header by Alvarez. Oh, he heads it off of Kane's shoulder. And then Gordon runs onto it. Rangel tries to go for the ball. It was a bit wide. He ended up getting Gordon. Now, we still have not gotten a word on anything. I will say, red would... I get letter of the law. Red would be kind of harsh, though, in that situation. And a reminder that if Rangel gets red card here, we will see 40-year-old Guillermo Ochoa. We thought we saw his final performance in the last group stage match against Czechia. Jude Bellingham has the ball. Surely to goodness, though. He's on a hat trick, but surely to goodness there's only one man that's going to take this penalty for England. I do not believe there's going to be a booking. But a big chance. England a chance with a man down to go 2 goals up. And Kane trying to add more drama to this Golden Boot race, which is in a three-way tie at the moment between Mbappe, Messi, and Haaland with 7 each. Kane has scored 5 penalties in a World Cup. Rangel will stay in the game. Chance to redeem himself. Of course, Harry Kane has had a mixed bag of World Cup penalties. He missed one, you might remember. He scored off the rebound. He actually missed one, but then had it retaken in the Croatia game. And he also had that missed penalty that might be still flying somewhere over orbiting between Qatar and the United Arab Emirates in that quarterfinal against France 4 years ago. Harry Kane, big moment here to put England up by 2. Approaching the hour in the Azteca. It's Harry Kane. It's 3-1 England. The 2-goal edge restored. And Mexico find themselves 2 down again. Never really any doubt that he was going to miss that. Keeper does go the right way. And Mexico now have made... They're going to make 2 more changes. Jimenez and Gutierrez replacing Romo and Mora. Santiago Jimenez and Brian Gutierrez. Coming on, Kane, 14 goals for England, most in England World Cup history. What a player. What a goal scorer. And Mexico now have it all to do. But they are a man up, and they can score quickly like they did when they were down 2 goals earlier. They might still have a chance. You just never know. Kane goes down. Gianni Infantino looking on with some delegates. Santiago Jimenez on 25-year-old known as El Bebot. Plays his club football in Serie A for AC Milan. He's also played for Cruz Azul and Feyenoord in the Dutch Eredivisie. Mexico coming forward though really quickly here with Quinones. Quinones laying it off for Gallardo. Good slide challenge there. Behind for a corner by John Stones. Really good defending. Actually, it wasn't a corner. It's a throw-in. Mexico take it quickly. They get it to Quinones. Lear with a cross. Pickford elects to punch. Collides in friendly fire with his own teammate. Alvarado's kept it alive on the right-hand side. Gutierrez blocked. And Gutierrez again, and then Pickford ends up making the save. Of course, Jimenez, a man who had a rough year for Milan from an injury standpoint. Only made 6 to 18 appearances, 16 in the league and 2 in the cup, and only scored once. Scored the winner in the 2023 Gold Cup final against Panama. Anthony Gordon now on the run, left-hand side for England. Sanchez now plays it back. Gallardo. The other sub, Brian Gutierrez, who plays for Guadalajara, 23-year-old who was born in the state of Illinois. Quinones, pass, and a bump from behind there. He's one of 2 U.S.-born players in the Mexican squad. The other is Obed Vargas, who was born in Alaska. Gallardo to the left side. Gallardo's cross, and away it goes. It's going to be a throw in for Mexico. Actually, landed more close to the line, so I think it's actually going to be England. It's going to be a corner, actually. 65th minute. 3-1, England on top of Mexico. Mexico have a man advantage. Here is the corner from Alvarado. Flicked around, back to Gutierrez. Now here is Quinones. Good ball played in. Here's a chip. Alvarez in the mixer. Head still there. Kane's back there defending. Appeals for a handball for Mexico. None given. Here is Quinones. And going to be found a free kick here for Mexico. By the way, now, this World Cup Golden Boot race is going to be something else. Now, VAR is having a check for a possible penalty here. And, oh, he's going to have a second look at it. Kane is none pleased with him with the official going to the monitor. Mexico might just have a way back here. And we're going to watch this again. Kicks it in. Boy, that's hard to tell. Kane also, by the way, has matched Gary Lineker for the most World Cup knockout round goals. Here comes the penalty. I don't think it's a penalty, personally. Oh, but it is! This game's had everything. Mexico with a 68th minute penalty kick coming up. Utterly incredible. And now a yellow card for dissent for somebody. Referee is very furious. Oh, I think it's Kane. I think it's Kane who's just been booked. So a yellow for Harry Kane. Now who's going to take this Mexican penalty? What do you think? Quinones would take it? Or Jimenez. It's gonna be Raul Jimenez, the man who has just spent so much, who's given his all at every club he's played for and for the national team. Has come back from a devastating head injury to still play at a high level. And he's got a chance to keep Mexico very much alive. Here he goes. It's Raul Jimenez. He scores! Game on again. He just beats Jordan Pickford. And there's life in the old Azteca again. It's 3-2. How lucky are we as sports fans? How many times do you hype up an event and it so woefully fails to live up to it? This has lived up to the hype and then some. But then again, it's this once in a generation World Cup. Expect nothing but bangers. Here we go. England have it right back with Kane. Gordon in the penalty area. Mexico, here are their lines for now. 3 goals for him in his World Cup. Mexico, England trying to go quickly. Another foul. No foul, says the referee. Now another foul, and now we got O'Reilly in a bit of a pickle with Jimenez. Santiago Jimenez with a G. Raul Jimenez scoring the goal. And Mexico's passionate fans with life again. And now, whoa, more trouble here. Here's a yellow card for Mexico. Sanchez has been booked. Jorge Sanchez gets a yellow. He is none pleased with that call. Well, I think this is one time where I don't think you can boo the hydration break. I think we kind of need it. This World Cup has been absolutely amazing. We're going to take a quick break of our own. You'll see the orbit. We'll step aside for a minute or two, and we'll be back for the thrilling conclusion of this one. Don't go anywhere. About ready to come out of the hydration break. And let's see, Red Eye Main responding to that Jimenez goal with Mexican flag says, can't count out the heart of El Tree. You most certainly cannot. Bruce Andrews has the Union Jack flag in response. Red Eye Main also says 9 and 16, becoming the next Mexican legends. Yes, we claim Julian as our own, as you should. He plays for the national team. Bruce showing his support for England. We've got dueling support here on a night that has just lived up to all the billing and then some. 74th minute, if you're just joining us, England scored in the 36th minute 2 goals quickly. 2 quick goals from Jude Bellingham made it 2-0. Then Julian Quinones pulled one back right before the break. It's been end-to-end fever pitch ever since. Harry Kane, England was then reduced to 10 with a Kwanzaa red Nico O'Reilly, by the way, has just gotten a yellow card in the mayhem. England then went up 3-1 via a Harry Kane penalty, but then moments ago, Raul Jimenez made it 3-2 with a penalty kick of his own. Thomas Tuchel about to make a second substitution, and he's going to bring on the big Newcastle defender Dan Burn, and he will replace Elliot Anderson. So another midfielder or creative player, if you like, that is being subbed off for a defender. And Nico O'Reilly also comes off, and he's going to be replaced by Jed Spence, one of the more controversial selections. Remember, a man who did not even start regularly at right back for 17th place Tottenham in the Premier League this season, and did not have a great game against DR Congo. Each team now with 2 subs left. Play has resumed. Vasquez now for Mexico. Now, Mexico trying to work it with Gallardo after the pass from Gutierrez. Gallardo back to Gutierrez. Lira. A little bit of room. Now passes it up to Alvarez. Alvarez now to Lira. Here's Gallardo. Here is Raul Jimenez trying to cut to his right, trying to turn provider. And not a very good touch. And Spence able to hack it away. 14 and a half minutes plus God knows how much stoppage time. Another cross. Oh, Pickford's in trouble. Had to punch it away. Hansa deals with it. Another long delivery. This is Gallardo now trying to work. Gallardo flicked it around. England have been able to do it away, able to clear it away yet again. Here is Alvarez for Mexico. They've got to go forward. Here is Gallardo. He'll whip one in. Oh, boy. Jimenez went for the bicycle kick. It did not work. Santiago went for the bicycle kick. Mexico's another sub ready to come on below. I believe that's Alvaro Fidalgo. Right-hand side. Alvarado. Good block by Spence, but only as far back as another Mexican player who chips it in. England headed away yet again. Not that clearly. Gallardo to Quinones. Quinones now finds Vasquez. Vasquez to Alvarez. A chip ball here to find Gutierrez. Gutierrez cutting to his right. And the shot blocked. Gutierrez, though, retrieves it. Gutierrez, and the cross eludes every green shirt. Again, England play it well defensively. Can't imagine you'd see too much attacking from England in these last several minutes. Lira. Chip to an unmarked Gallardo on the left-hand side. Gallardo. Cross. Spence behind at the far post for a corner. Corner coming up for Mexico, and here's the change, and it is Fidalgo. 29-year-old who plays his club football in Spain for Real Betis. And it will be Sanchez who makes way. Fidalgo, born in Spain. But switched his allegiance to Mexico only in February. Scored the goal against Czechia, the first goal against Czechia. Here comes the corner. Ooh, and over Pickford. And Pickford could not keep it alive. He barely got a faint touch to it. Just the slightest touch there from Pickford. Job not done by a long shot. Pierre Moss is in the chat, says this game is nuts. Alvarado blocks it away. Eighth Mexican corner. Alvarado. Ready to take this corner. Here it comes again. Oh, it was a header. But it wasn't the best header in the world. Alvarez got that last touch. Couldn't make the number out. Yeah, it was Alvarez, and he headed it way wide. Mexico maybe getting ready to bring that last sub on. It looks like it's going to be Guillermo Martinez, who plays for Pumas. 31 years of age is Guillermo Martinez. He's going to come on. We don't know who he's replacing yet because they haven't brought him on, but he's the one with the shirt on that's warming up. Lira. Alvarado, right-hand side. Spence defending. Comes to the area, and Bellingham will kick it away to safety. And the final change, and it's going to be Quinones coming off. That's an interesting call by Javier Aguirre. Quinones, the scorer of the first Mexican goal, will make way for Mimote, as he's known. 31-year-old from Celaya, Mexico. He's the Golden Boot winner in the 2018 Clausura. Also was the top goal scorer in the 2023-24 overall Liga MX season. Gallardo. Vasquez. Fidalgo. Here's a volley, and it's just over the bar from Santiago Jimenez. He made a good rush to it, good attack, but just didn't really hit it cleanly. Pickford jumping just to make 100% sure. But he wasn't nowhere near it. It goes out of play, and it's a goal kick, and England will take their time with this. Mexico's last competitive home loss was in 2013, a World Cup qualifier against Honduras. 13 years you have to go back to the last time El Tri lost a competitive match at home. Cross is headed behind, and Pickford's there to make the very, very easy save. Can England hold on? Vasquez now over to Gallardo. Gallardo whips it in. Oh, it's a decent first touch. It's still loose in the penalty area, but no Mexican player could get a proper touch on it. It's chased all the way back by Alvarez. Now it goes over to Fidalgo. On the left side, back to Gallardo. Gallardo's cross. A block by Consa. Behind for a corner. Consa thinks it hit off of Gallardo last. The referee didn't see it that way. Mexico will have a corner in the 84th minute. Or has he reversed the call? Wow. Goal kick after all to England. So, goal kick England after all. And Three Lions will be most appreciative of that ruling. Mexican fans hanging on. England now trying to lay out. Here's Kane. Now it's Bellingham, and he runs into traffic. Now Jimenez in a bit of a deal there with Consa. England with a free kick, and they will take their time. 85th minute. Another chip in. It's away by Alvarez. Mexico have got to get going here. But they've been dispossessed. Bellingham. Spence. Bounced right to Rangel. Now Mexico have to go. Alvarez. Now it's Alvarado. Alvarado whips it across. Oh my goodness. Jimenez looked like he was assaulted there. No foul. England get it away. It was a pretty good tackle. It was like a football, American football tackle in the box. A couple Mexican players still appealing for a penalty. Santiago. No, this is not Jimenez. This is Fidalgo. Now Gallardo. Left-hand side. Constant defense. One little link. Fidalgo trying to whip the box in. Whip it into the box. Pickford punched it away. Not overly far, though, to where Mexico still has possession. Fidalgo. Curling pass over now to Alvarado. Alvarado lays it off. Another cross. Not a bad first touch from Jimenez. Second touch let him down. Mexico with 34 crosses to 4 and a delayed offside call against Mexico. And England will not mind one iota taking time. And again, you have to imagine there's going to be a pretty fair amount of stoppage time. 6 or 7 minutes would be my guess. Are the three Lions about to exercise some Azteca demons? Does Mexico have any more of that Azteca magic left in them? Reza Fagani has had an interesting game, that's for sure. He has... And we knew this was going to be a tough game for you. You would not envy any official who was going to be handling this game. Alvarez. Fidalgo. Alvarado. Not a very good touch there by Stones. Bellingham away. Alvarez. Now Alvarado. Now away it goes. Alvarado. Oh, that was a decent pass, but it wasn't a good touch. Lira back to Alvarado. England trying to keep the crosses out. Diving header by Kane. Doesn't get all the way clear, though. Fidalgo trying to get a proper touch. He couldn't. Foul on England. Mexico go quickly with it. Martinez. Gallardo chips one in. Jimenez the header. Gahey away. And it's away by Gordon as well. Everybody back for England. 89th minute. As I always say on social media and to my friends, how do you not like any sport? You can't even find one. High drama. Fidalgo right at Pickford. Wild scenes. Raul Jimenez. Aguirre pointing and looking at the watch. And I think he's telling his players, hey, there's going to be some stoppage time, but we are running out of time. Harry Kane's off. His penalty made it 3-1. Morgan Rogers, the man who had such a great year for Aston Villa, helping them win the Europa League. He comes on. England with a free kick, and they will be in no rush to take. The clock is hit 90. You got to think there's going to be a fair amount of stoppage time. I'm thinking, like I said, I'm thinking 6 or 7 minutes. We haven't gotten the word yet. Oh, it's going to be 11. 11 minutes. You see it on your screen now. 11 minutes for Mexico to do something. Pickford handles the cross, and it goes away. England now way up the pitch. 11 minutes of stoppage time. We've played 41 seconds of them. Mexico have outshot England 15-5 and 5-4 on target. Alvarado. Fidalgo. Now it's Lira. England set up to defend crosses, and yet all Mexico can do is get crosses. Left-hand side. Here comes Gallardo. Gallardo. Fidalgo. Back to Gallardo. And a cross blocked by Ansa. And it's going to go out of play for a corner. 90 seconds have been played. Mexican fans still keeping the faith. Time is very much their enemy. Gutierrez to take the corner. Pickford punch. Only as far back as Fidalgo. Chip over now to Alvarado. For Gutierrez, and that cross is nowhere close to anybody. Goal kick, England. Thomas Tuchel. A little less than 8 minutes away from a date with Norway in Miami on Saturday. That is what is on the line here. Mexico with a throw in their own half. They've got to go forward here. Gutierrez trying to get the ball, he couldn't. England with the spaces covered. Has it. Oh, he's going to go for goal. He saw the keeper off his line, and Rangel catches it. Well, that was a cheeky effort for Morgan Rogers. Saw the keeper off his line, figured he'd have a go, but could not do it. Back it goes with Mexico. Alvarado on the right-hand side. We're in the 4th minute of stoppage time, as you see on your screen. It's Vasquez. Gallardo. What on earth? I don't know if it was meant to be a shot or a cross, but whatever it meant to be it was nowhere close to the desired effect. That missed the penalty box by 3 miles. And some Mexican fans are now starting to stare at a possible realization that the curse is going to continue. The round of 16 curse, of course. Again, 2 exceptions, 1990 where they did not make the tournament, where they were disqualified, and then in 2022 when they were grouped. But every other World Cup they've been in since the 86 quarters, it has been exact round of 16 exits. 94, 98, 02, 06. 10, 14, and 18. Is 26 about to be added to that list on home soil? Or do they have something left? Fidalgo. Pass right-hand side. Fidalgo gets it back. Cross coming in. Pickford chases. It's over everybody. It'll be a goal kick for England. England, long goal kick from Pickford. It goes all the way back to Ranhale. 95:07 on the clock. England still have a little less than 6 minutes to defend here. Mexico on the run. Gallardo. Fidalgo. He'll chip it in. Going for the spectacular and failing miserably at that. Not sure who that was. It was Jimenez, I believe. Ranhale. Mexico now pushing forward. Here's Fidalgo. Gallardo. Fidalgo. Edson Alvarez went for a shot that was blocked. And it goes all the way back to Ranhale. 5 minutes to go. We've had 6 of the 11 played. Alvarez at the center of the park. Fidalgo. Alvarez. Lira. Alvarado. Gordon back there defending. He's put in a great shift at both ends tonight, Anthony Gordon. Probably the best game he's ever played in an England shirt. The soon-to-be Bayern Munich man. Here's Gallardo with the left-hand side. Gallardo delivers it in. Chance! Over the bar from Jimenez. Was that the last best chance for Mexico? Flicked over the bar by Raul Jimenez. That might just have done it. Well, there's still a few minutes left. 7.5 minutes just about. Bellingham and Rodgers having an embrace. Mexico on the verge of their first competitive home loss in more than a decade. And this one is going to sting because they were up for it. All week their fans were up for it. After the Ecuador game, almost a week of having a knockout game in the Azteca, a chance to break the curse at home. And then against England, a team that's not exactly accustomed to the altitude, and in a stadium that England had its own demons. Yellow card for a player that was warming up as a substitute. Not sure who that was. Bellingham does a good job of keeping it in. Mexico away. Sliced. And he's going to go as far back as Gahey. And he'll get it back to Pickford. Anywhere will do for England. Pickford up the pitch. Backheader, and it goes back to Ranhale. Or actually, it was not on the sub. It was on an actual outfield player. It was a yellow for Johan Vasquez. Alvarado gives it up. Jimenez, England trying to check back. Spence kicks it behind for a corner. How much longer before we maybe see Ranhale come up on one of these set pieces? I cannot imagine it would be too much longer. Slow to get up. Still not getting up is the Mexican attacker. I believe that's Gutierrez. England nearly there. They'll have a corner. Head at the far post across the face of goal. Pickford, secure hands, get it. And that might just be enough. 90 seconds for England to hang on. Bellingham on the long ball. Took an awkward touch and landed out of play. Jordan Henderson, by the way, there was duly yellow cards. There was a player with a substitute vest on that got yellow carded, and it was Jordan Henderson. Alvarado. Gordon intercepts it and gets it away. 1 minute left. Mexico running out of time and options. Long ball left-hand side. Gallardo. Lira. Fidalgo. Cross. Jimenez kept it alive, but no England player could get a touch on it. Bellingham was back there away doing the work. Lira has kept it alive. 20 seconds. Gutierrez. Fidalgo. Now or never, you gotta get it into the box. You gotta get into the mixer somehow. It's blocked. Alvarado. Shoot if you have to. Gutierrez, there's no tomorrow. We've had the 11. Here's the cross. Jimenez attacks. It's loose. Oh, it was one. John Stones just got it behind. Mexico have a corner. Rangel is up. Alvarado's cross. Headed only as far as Raul Jimenez, who scuffs it across. It's still loose. Shot. It's blocked again. It's another corner. They've opened the pubs up late night in England. Good luck anybody working tomorrow either way. Another cross. Pickford punches. Referee blows for full time. England survive a scare at the Azteca. They exorcise some of the Azteca demons. And for El Tree, not even home soil was enough to lift their round of 16 curse. It will now be a 40-plus year wait between quarterfinal appearances. A memorable night. A match that had it all. One of the best matches in a World Cup, chock full of quality matches. Bellingham scored 2 in 3 minutes, just before 40 to make it 2-0. Then Julian Quinones, with a thumping finish, pulled Mexico back. England were down to 10 men when Jarrell Quansah got sent off, but then got a penalty, and Harry Kane scored it. Mexico got a penalty of their own from Raul Jimenez. England then fought and staved off every last Mexican attack. Mexico go home in the last 16 again. England are on to Miami and a date with Norway on Saturday. Tears in the eyes of substitute keeper Guillermo Ochoa. It's definitely over now. We knew he had played his last game more than likely when he came on as a substitute against Czechia, but now he knows it's over. A Mexico nation that did itself proud in its first 4 games, but could not overcome the 3 Lions. England are into the last 8. They'll play Norway on Saturday. Red Eye Main says 1 goal lost could have been worse. Time to sing El Rey. An unbelievable game of World Cup football. And again, where have we heard that before in this tournament? It is finished at the Azteca. Mexico 2, England 3. For everyone at the Ultimate Sports Network, special shout out to Matthew Owens and JT. I'm Seth Eaves. So long and good night, and we will see you next time.